everybody. I call the Town of Saratoga Town Board meeting into session. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm sorry. Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Let's see, what are we going to do first? Updates from since the previous meeting. Constable, he's not here. Building inspector, Josh?
Yeah, I have a report there. There were 16 permits issued in the month of October, which is pretty average. Couple houses, an early start. Nothing too exciting.
Josh, how many new houses have we had this year? Do you know?
This year, I don't know. That commerce thing, Department of Commerce thing that comes, instead of doing it every month, I do it at the end of the year,
Okay.
every year. Last year, I think it was 29. I think we're on track to be pretty close to that.
Oh, it's hard to believe in this economy.
Yeah,
It's good for Saratoga.
yeah.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Josh?
And me and Billy Joe have had some conversations about, you know, when houses are finalized out, she needs a certificate for taxes and garbage pickup, so just the lack of garbage pickup has helped a little bit to get some of the people that would maybe not call to call, so I don't know if we can kind of mention that to them, that, you know, certain, if an address isn't on their thing, to not pick up, but I think that's been happening
Well,
so far.
I think with the new, with what we just talked with Waste Management, we actually gave them a list and everything, so
Perfect.
I'm thinking they might be pretty stingent.
Yeah, that, it helps.
Stringent. Okay.
And then we were hoping to meet with you early next year to review the packet that you hand out for new homes.
Okay.
Because we'd like to add something for
Sure.
driveways and fire and
Sure.
that type of thing. So we'll get with you
Okay,
in the new year.
sure.
Take care.
Yeah, that's dated a little bit, yeah.
So was the previous building inspector.
Can I say something about, we're going through the same thing with recycling and solid waste. What Waste Management is gonna do is give us a list of who they're handing out the new containers to. And that way there, we know exactly who's on the list. And for moving or building a new home. So when somebody moves, the owner and the new owner has to make sure that they keep the garbage cans goes with the address.
Okay,
If the owners leave with the garbage cans, they're gonna have to pay Waste Management
oh,
to purchase those.
so
But they go to the address. Yeah,
so did you guys do you have an agreement with Waste Management that they are the ones that bill the previous owners?
no, we bill,
Oh,
we bill.
the town does.
Yes, and it went up $60-some from what we did. It was $134 a year. And we charge a fee. And when you charge a fee, you can only make the money, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then spend it.
right.
You can't, so last year, what we took in is what we spend this year.
Okay.
We may have to take some now out of our own funds.
No, I mean, if a tenant leaves and takes the garbage cans with him, and then the new tenant has to purchase them, who goes after the old tenant? Does the town or
No.
just Waste Management?
No, nobody does.
Oh,
Sorry, you know what I mean?
okay,
He took the furnace out when he left. Whose fault is that?
okay,
The guy put the furnace in? No.
okay,
It's-
all right. Well,
That's
good
all
to know,
been discussed.
good to know. I never thought of that myself. It's good to know. All right, thank you, Josh.
Sure.
Zoning Administrator, Rose, how's it going?
It's fine. I have a question about Benjamin Karbowski,
Yes,
1511 State Highway 73.
sure,
He ended up applying for a fence permit and he is waiting to hear back from that?
The fence permit, I'm not aware of. I do know there are some other issues with that property that are, being addressed.
Yeah, I was told initially to just hold off on the permit due to, yeah, non-compliance on his property. And then his site plan was also with a 6-foot tall privacy fence right up against the road, which I don't believe would be allowed.
We don't allow that.
And we kind of let him know in an email, and we were both copied in and just haven't heard anything from him. So I was debating, maybe, he has some cash sitting in there. I don't know if I should maybe send it back to him at this point, or,
I do know he had a court date for a violation today, and I did actually talk to Ashley Karbowski today. And I know Brandon and I are very aware of the situation, so we're managing it. So if you guys can just
sure,
be on hold for a little bit, we'll
Sure.
keep you posted.
Do we let him know that it's pending?
Um,
other-
They are aware. But if you wanna reach out and tell her again that it's pending, you know, the outcome today, and everything will be looked at the town.
Ben, reach out to Ben.
I didn't talk to Ben, I talked to Ashley, I believe that's his wife. I have never spoken to Ben. I've always spoken to.
there's an application in there that probably has a contact, and I can get number for you.
Thank you, that was everything.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Rose? I know that I have an appointment with you on Friday that I will keep this time. And we are going to be looking at the camper ordinance. Okay, road crew, Caston.
Currently getting everything ready for winter. Trucks get all set up and fixing them up before the season hits. Sheds are full. Working on the pacer rating with Doug and you previously, except for today. And then hoping to continue it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Might be able to get it done.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You guys must have really put in a lot of hours today.
it was all day,
Oh,
8:30 to 2:30.
I'm sorry I couldn't join you. I had
That's all right.
previous commitments.
Yeah.
Which, sorry to say, was my my home. I had to get it winterized,
Oh, yeah. You
get
can-
ready for winter, and I've been putting it off because of our rescheduling.
Oh, okay.
I have a question.
Sure, Bill.
On the road crew, on your salt shed, do you get an inspection every year?
Yes, yes, we do. But they have to inspect. I don't think you can get away with not inspecting it.
I think it's inspected, and you have to have that done at a certain time.
You do, and they do it without us even being here. They'll just come in. They'll
Oh,
send
yeah, yeah,
a letter saying that they're coming to do it.
yeah, we have 17 violations on ours.
Oh, really? Yeah, they are. Ours was pretty good. I think we only had maybe 1 or 2.
Looks like you got a little work to do over there,
Never
Bill.
mind.
You have a good night, Bill. All right. Anybody have any questions for Caston? So our trucks are up and ready to go for the snow,
Pretty much.
Caston? Yeah.
Getting ready. My hydraulic tank is being changed out on the 05 right now.
That's what you took in the other day?
No, that was the 03 for the. It was originally going to be a pinion seal. The county was going to replace, but
Right.
we realized it was the third member for the differential that was leaking, and they said it'd be a big job that would take a while. They'd be there for a while, so because you got to pull the whole
Yeah,
flow and everything.
yeah.
So it's not that bad of a leak. So we'll just use it for the winter. Get that done in the spring.
All right.
It shouldn't be too bad.
I was gonna say that sounds good, but it really doesn't sound good, does it?
It's like they said it was a 20-hour job
Wow.
to replace that. So
You don't have a picture of that leak at all, do you?
I don't have a picture now.
I know one truck needed cutting edges on it.
That was the
issues.
03 as well.
Okay.
And they're putting the green lights in the back of the 03. We got the green and amber installed on the 05. New lights came today for the 22 plow truck and the 03 plow truck for the top.
Okay.
So and the 1 ton has a green and amber light as well.
Okay.
On it now, so.
Good.
Yep, getting those ready. Modernized.
I hated seeing snow the other day. I'd like to say I really thought of you, but I would go, oh, no.
It wasn't quite enough to salt the roads.
Oh,
yet.
I'm
Not for
glad,
the
I'm
town, at
glad.
least.
A lot of places were salting though.
Yeah,
I
we
was
didn't. need
surprised.
It was, yeah. The county definitely, they keep up on their highways pretty good.
Mm.
They always salt.
Okay, any other questions for Tess? All right, let's move on. Plan Commission.
I don't have any updates from the plan commission, maybe Mr. Forbes has anything, but, no, I've been kinda out for a while.
Nothing's, we haven't met since your last
No.
meeting, so nothing's happened.
Nothing's going
You
on.
and Rose haven't, you're
Yep.
Your zoning thing went through today at the seed committee.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
I've been in contact with, Emily, I think is her name.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got one more step at the county level.
Yeah, I'm voting against it.
Thanks for your support, Bill. All right. Any questions for Dan or Rose? All right, let's move on. Clerk.
Heard from Waste Management and we're hoping to have the new cans and recycle bins to everybody by the end of this year, and it'll probably be January when they're dispersed. So,
Are they also gonna give us a list of who they're dispersing them to, like they are for Grand Rapids?
well, we provided them with the list, but I can give him a
Maybe
call.
they will check them off,
Yeah,
which would be really nice for
Mhm,
us to
yep.
have.
and then they'll get me their updated list of holidays, so once I have that, I'll put that on the web too. A lot of
Perfect.
people ask if garbage is a day late, so.
Perfect. Yeah, we had a call the other day about the brush sites, is that what it's called in Rapids?
Oh, the
west
compost
side,
site, yeah.
Oh, west side, and east side compost sites, and they're gonna be open till the 15th of November,
Mhm.
just for anybody out there. We did find that out.
So the new cans will be dispersed in January?
Probably January, yeah. So they had hoped it would have been this year yet, to kind of get everybody used to it, but I'm sure to come up with that number of cans
Yeah,
is a task.
this is your first year too, right, Bill? So they had to supply us and
Mm-hmm.
Grand Rapids.
So if you have somebody that lives in a block and they have two driveways, can they put garbage cans out both sides of the road?
We do both sides of the road.
No, I just, so this is the front of my house and this is
Sure.
W, and over on the back of my lot, way over is 45th Street. And I have a driveway that way. I got a permission to have those two driveways.
Right.
Do I get 4 cans?
Nope, you only get two per address, 2 per parcel. That one I think we clarified right from the beginning. You got it a little different there?
No, we haven't, we're running into commercial,
Oh,
with some of these nursing homes or something like that. They get away with garbage cans now,
ooh,
but
here
I
in
don't know if they're.
Saratoga, they have to have a dumpster. They
Yeah.
don't even allow them to have garbage cans. All right, well, interesting. Treasurer, Billy Joe?
Received a letter from Paper Cities, that the account is inactive. That's because we deposited into it and it just builds interest on it. So I will be making a small deposit from something that comes into the office, just to take it up there to make that active again. And under tax prep right now.
Right? Is it true that our taxes are gonna be a little late this year?
Yes, according to the county, the state is gonna be getting out their number late. So it looks like the county won't be printing our tax bills until the first week of December. Like this, I think she said December 4th. And, then it's gonna be a mad rush to stuff and mail.
So it's all hands on deck, huh? Sounds like all 4 of us will be here. We'll get Mary in here to help us.
How late is that? Is that like a week late or
I used to get them before Thanksgiving.
like for 2 weeks?
So when are you having the budget meeting?
Our budget meeting is the
15th.
15th of this month?
Oh, I was just at 29th or something like that.
We're gonna, Get her done. All right, anybody else have any questions for Bill or Joe? Looks like you're safe.
Cool.
Thank you. Informational announcements by board members. We're gonna start on this side today. Roger?
Okay. So the one thing that I had wanted to mention at the last meeting, I guess without, any pushback on it, which I don't think there will be, I would like to put an eyeglass drop out here in the entrance, from the Lions Association. They pick up eyeglasses yet, and they help a lot of individuals throughout the country, and so I'll be working on that in the near future. That's not necessarily supervisor's business, but I'm gonna do that. So we've been working on the wildfire risk protection program application, Lorelei and I and Rob and Amy Penn. And there's a draft that come out here the other day. I'm gonna share it with you. You can reference it. Subject to change in the near future.
I have mine.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just briefly go through it. It's for the town. There's a funding request. There's a minimum of, or a project maximum of 16,000 for the cross boundary, maximum of 20,000. And we're gonna be putting in for $15,926.30, as long as this draft does not change. Part of the piece of this is for education of the townspeople. A brochure holder out here, letters sent out to the town. We're gonna be working on the chip transfer site. We're gonna work on trying to purchase some equipment for the Public Works Department for trimming back along the right of way, rental of a chipper. And we got 92 miles of roads, so talking with Caston, you know, wishful thinking, if they could do some of the work with the county, trimming back, you know, maybe we could do 40 miles in a year. But that is if all the alignment works out. So, you know, sending out two-sided document, tag it Saratoga Emergency Readiness Information, purchasing some labels, a reference to letters that will be sent out. You know, in the future, we could use the sign that's gonna be put up by year end. Thanks for all the hard work, everybody, on that. So we're in a high-risk area, education of the homeowners to clean up around their property, help to clean up the brush at the drop-off site, waste management pickup, burning restrictions, burning permits. Another project would be updating new driveway ordinances that went in. And this is for, you know, your fire trucks that come in, and that can also help the EMS also when they're responding if there's ever any issues with some of the driveways. Over the roads, there's a lot of canopy of trees. That's why we gotta start cutting back on the right of ways. We had a lot of discussion on that, like I referenced with Caston as well as Doug Pazanoff. So chip the brush pile at the brush site, like a reference road, right of way cleanup. So there's some variance on how many miles of roads we could get done per day, but it's all for the good of the program, and especially the town and its people that live here. So we have an active community wildfire protection program, and so brochure holder listed, newsletter I referenced, contractor to chip brush at the brush site, pole saw, equipment for cutting back branches, hourly costs, DNR to match half of hourly wages. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Any, questions on that? I will tell you the due date on this app is November 15th. So we'll be working with Amy on that to adjust any numbers that are needed. And with that, we're gonna bring it back to the board. And we're gonna look for board oversight and approval, okay?
I would like to add something to that, Roger. The one thing that's kind of unique about this grant is that it's not a 50-50 co-pay. It is, we can work, part of our labor goes towards our co-pay, so that we're not actually expending money, we're actually expending labor. So this is what makes this grant very unique and really attractive for us. And a lot of the things that are in here are things that we normally hire out done that we will get paid for, reimbursed. So it made it a very attractive grant to the town of Saratoga. Unfortunately, it came in a little late, so we've had to kind of scramble for some information, and I thank Roger for that because he's been the one doing that. I think this is really a good opportunity for Saratoga, and we do have the money in our budget to take care of the small amount that we do have to pay if we do get this grant, so.
And I appreciate you mentioning that, Lorelei. You know, Mr. Rob Borski's done a lot of work on this also, along with yourself, and it's been quite a process, and it's very encouraging the way this should work for our town. And when Lorelei, Chairman Lorelei referenced the volunteer hours, you know, that is like $31.80 an hour that you put towards the whole grant. So it's a worthwhile grant to put in for. Thank you.
Do you have anything else for us, Roger?
No, you told me I was supposed to tell everybody why I left early last meeting.
Yes, please tell us.
Okay, because I left early because our daughter Ashlyn was in the National Honor Society program at the Coosa High School, so.
We think that's a pretty
That's awesome.
neat thing, Roger. So congratulations on that, and congratulations to your daughter.
Yep, well, thank you.
It's pretty great.
That's all I have.
Quite the
All
honor.
right. Chase,
Don't really have much this week.
I don't have any updates. I apologize for not being able to make the last meeting. Had some things come up, but,
we're glad you're
I'm
here.
glad to be back, and, I won't be doing that again, so.
Sounds good. We're glad you're back. Brian,
That's all I have.
Took some complaints from citizens, Saratoga citizens this last couple of weeks. Two of them were a couple addresses for Brandon to look into for junk ordinance. That they'd like to get cleaned up, so I gave him the addresses and he'll be looking into that. And I know he said that he'll be sending out warning letters here. He did also mention that it's getting to be pretty late in the year due to the snow flying, but he'll send these ones out, so. Also, was contacted by an individual on Oak Ridge Road about the corner they have down there on the road. They used to have 3 reflective signs, a post with the reflective signs showing the corner. The northernmost one was broke off, I guess, and is now missing, so they would like that to be replaced. I don't know if we have extra.
On the inside of the corner? Outside?
It's on the inside of the corner.
How to prevent people from cutting the corner?
Yeah, I believe so. Because with off-road vehicles, and this gentleman likes to ride motorcycles, so a lot of times the stuff gets flung up on the road then, people cutting the corner, so you'd like to see that post replaced with the reflective sign on there.
Mhm.
He had some other complaints, some of which we can't do anything about, and I informed him of that.
Are those reflective signs something that we put up?
Yes.
Yeah, they're in the right of way. I think I'll replace them with with the white and black penguins, so that if they do get hit, they return, you know, cause those are reflective-ish.
Good.
Cause I believe right now, and in a lot of other corners, they're just a green post with a little black and
Rectangle.
yellow arrow or something. That's all they are. I think they were just custom made.
Okay.
I'll get some of those, I think they call them penguins at the county, just the white and black ones you stake in, that they could spring back up if they get
Sure.
hit. But it'll still prevent people from cutting the corner.
Okay. And then, also was contacted by an individual who I believe earlier this summer moved onto Camilla Court and heard about the letter that the residents on Camilla Court and that subdivision sent out, and was just wondering where they were on that list. He said that he had to weed eat the road quite often this year, and he doesn't think that's necessary.
That's
So
Robert
that
73.
subdivision,
That's the one that we were, talking about the other day when we did our pacer rating.
Yorkshire Court.
Yep.
And Camilla Court.
Oh. They want their road redone?
Well, it is on the docket.
It is. It's
I
just-
think it's for next year, but I don't know that we were gonna redo it. I don't know what we had decided on that road, but it is on the docket for next year.
Yeah,
Next year?
Yeah.
Okay, cause I'd like to tell them something, cause
Yeah.
this is the
Um,
third time I've been.
Actually, I have the letter on my desk, cause I was going to call them after we got done with the pacer rating, because that was
Okay.
on my list to do too. So if you want, Brian, I can take that over for you.
That's all I have.
Okay, can I ask, if one of those complaints came from 52nd Street?
No,
Okay. I received a couple, actually today I received 3. One was on 52nd Street for an added driveway. Maybe this was yesterday. I think I took it in the office yesterday. The complainant came in that there was a driveway that was added, and then there were some vehicles that were parked on this driveway. Well, the first thing I do is look at the GIS, and when I looked at the GIS, the driveway has been there since the GIS did the previous flyover. And so were the above mentioned vehicles. So I asked the complainant so this was a second party, I asked them to give me the phone number of the original complainant so that I can talk to them, because it doesn't seem to be a valid complaint if it's been there for a couple of years. And then I received a call from someone who had been in contact with Boz in regard to subdividing their property. And this one's gonna be a little complicated. This will come to the board because it's a very long 40-acre parcel off from Spruce. And she wants to sell off the back 5 acres and utilize her driveway as egress. So this will be a little complicated. And I forgot where the third complaint was, but it seems like everybody's getting ready for winter, so they're getting all this stuff off their docket, so I'll try to keep on top of the things that I got. Budget will be next meeting, so that's in the works. I think that's all I have. Anybody have any questions for any of the board members here?
I think I just have one quick question. This application, you said Rogers due November 15th,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gotta come back, so
It's just an application.
okay,
When it
So
comes
once it's
back,
done-
if we decide to accept it or not accept it, can come to the board.
That'll be turned in time though. Yeah,
Right.
Yes, it'll be turned in time.
that's a very good question.
Lorelei, there's one more thing I'd like to mention.
Sure.
We're gonna, the Saratoga EMS is gonna be doing the giving tree again this
yes.
year, in honor of Brianna Ginter. And Lorelei, I had asked her if we would be able to get the bulbs and everything ready here, in this office with the Ginter family and the EMS. And we will be putting that all together, and hopefully everything will be ready. We'll have the tree up and everything by Thanksgiving. So then residents can come, and Brianna used to work at the Nakusa court. the assisted living in there, and, that's who the gifts will be for them. So they'll be on the bulb, and it'll be, it'll say if it's a male or a female and what their wish list is. If it's clothing, it's sizes and stuff, so that'll be on there, and the bulb will have, something in memory of Brianna.
The Ginter family is a Saratoga resident.
No,
Weren't they?
no, Brianna passed away in Saratoga.
Right.
She and her boyfriend were Saratoga residents at
Yes.
the time. Yes.
Okay. So you said it'll be up just before Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll get all filled up and everybody will have a Merry Christmas.
Sounds like a nice initiative, and thank you for sharing that and doing that.
All right, approval of the previous minutes. Hope everybody's had a chance to review the minutes. And if you have, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve minutes from October 18th.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion by Chase and a second by Roger to approve the town board minutes of Wednesday, October 18th. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. All right, moving on. Looks like it's gonna be a short night here. We have two concrete waivers. The first concrete waiver we'll do is for Chris Cheadle at 3777 Church Avenue. Are those,
I didn't
There's no
I
one
didn't put the
included here.
copy of that in there.
Make a motion to approve the concrete waivers for Chris Cheadle at 3777 Church Avenue.
I'll second.
okay, I have a motion by Josh and a second by Brian to approve the concrete waiver for Chris Cheadle on Church Avenue, parcel number 1800187L. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion carries. The second concrete waiver we have is for Dale and Marcia Freeberg at 5950 David Drive. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the concrete waiver for Dale and Marcia Freeberg, 5950 David Drive, parcel 1801497.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Josh and a second by Brian to approve the concrete waiver for Dale and Marcia Freeberg at 5950 David Drive, parcel 1801497. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. All right, this is, on the agenda again, the long and short-term disability insurance. And right now it's on the agenda just so that we remain aware of it and remain cognizant that we are researching and following through with this. It's been brought to light several ways in the last few months that this is something we really need for our employees, whether the town pays for it or the employees pay for it. We really need to offer this to our employees, and it's very hard to find when we only have one or two employees. So I want to keep it on the agenda so that we keep researching it, and we've been very aggressive in doing this, both Billy Joe and myself. So,
Hopefully the 15th, we can have something to share with the board, some numbers.
yes, we have two promising companies that we're talking to. It's just a matter of the conversations. So we'll leave that on the agenda for next month. Move to a single monthly meeting on a trial
Shane's
basis.
next meeting, right?
Yes. Oh, did I say month?
You did.
I'm sorry. I mean,
It's okay.
next meeting. It was brought to our attention that in the winter months that maybe we don't need to meet twice a month. And maybe one meeting a month would be sufficient. I believe that that is a possibility, and I'm not sure, I guess I wanted to look this up, and I guess I didn't make the time to do this, but I have Dan in the audience, maybe he might be able to help me. So Dan, what we're entertaining is like the months of possibly November, December, January, February, March, just making one meeting a month for the town board and having it be the second Wednesday.
Third one.
third Wednesday, I'm sorry.
Second meeting.
It was the second meeting of the town board for the month, and then revert back to 2 meetings a month when it's busier during the summer. Do you know if that has to be, if that has to go through any kind of procedural?
I was wondering the same thing when I saw it on the agenda. I don't know. I don't remember, we've been in 2 meetings for
Years?
years, and I don't even remember when they went to 2
Two.
meetings, if that was before 2000 or when. I don't remember at all.
I guess I'll do some more
But as
research.
far as the procedure, I don't know. Towns Association probably be your next step, just to give them a buzz and find out if there's anything. Too
Yeah.
bad Bill left, but, I don't know if he
Yeah,
would
sure.
know either, but,
Yeah,
like I said, seems like I was on the board when they went to 2 meetings, but I couldn't swear to it either. And I don't know what the procedure was, if it was just a fact of passing a resolution or
Okay.
what it was, I don't know, but give them, the Towns Association,
Okay.
a quick buzz. I mean, that's what they're there for.
true, yeah. The reason we considered it is we're trying to save the taxpayers' money, of
Well,
course.
certainly,
Yeah.
yeah, and like you said, there's a slow period of time.
Right,
And the big things that you've got is operator's license, and you're
Right.
probably gonna take care of that situation.
Right.
Which should have been done years ago. And we've always had the conflict with CSMs.
and that's why we decided it's the second meeting of the month, so that we could meet the week after the plan commission, so we could keep that,
You know,
on a schedule.
that's another thing too. Okay, the CSM comes in the Thursday after you people meet. Now, it's a full 4 weeks before it even goes to the plan commission.
Right, so that's why we were trying to schedule it.
So there's always going to be a delay, the county's side of the delay on those
Right.
anyway, so.
Right. So, I'll research that a little further. That was me dropping the ball, sorry. I'll get with the Towns Association and then I'll follow through on that.
Yeah, but like I said, I wish I could remember even, cause it's been meeting twice a month for years.
Yeah, well, if we get enough stuff, I
Well,
understand.
back in the day,
Yeah.
ever since 12, there was things going
Oh,
on
yeah.
constantly.
Yeah,
And it was, and a lot of the meetings were short. I mean,
Yeah.
hour, 45 minutes, sometimes we were in and out of here, but still, there's,
things that had to be
I
done.
mean, the clerk is the one
Yeah,
that's sitting there with things to do, she's got deadlines that she has to meet. And
right,
part of the reason for meeting two times a month was to meet those deadlines.
yeah. If we can get away with 1 meeting a month during the winter
Well,
months.
like I said, years
That'd
ago,
be great.
and there's towns that only meet, I mean, you
That
get
is
the
true.
rural towns, Seagulls and Towns of Woods, and where, you know yourself when you get up there that there's, you get a little property disputes going on, and that's about their biggest thing, budget time, and, look at the town of Cranmore, I mean, they're, what they got, 9 miles of road?
Yeah, but I think Grand Rapids still only meets once a month too, don't they?
I
Yeah.
can't say, I
I
don't
think
know,
they do.
it'd be in your
Second
book.
Wednesday of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You look in that county book, it tells you when they meet and how
Yeah.
long.
Actually, I just checked ours. It doesn't say that anymore.
It doesn't?
No, a lot of them say it right on top, meets whatever day of the month, but I just checked that it doesn't say it on there anymore.
but,
So-
if we do have to have that second meeting, we can always have it. It's just that I hate to, post a meeting for a 15-minute meeting. And not only is it saving the taxpayers money, all these guys work. I hate to pull them away from their night with their family for 15 minutes. So I definitely will check on that, so. All right,
So are we looking for a motion now, or are we just looking to get more information?
I'm gonna get more information before I come back and ask for a motion. Because there's no sense of making a motion if it doesn't. if
We'll
we
be here
can't do it.
on the 15th anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna be here, right, Chase?
Should be.
All right then. All right, approval of a draft ordinance to assign a designee to approve the operator's license. All right, so every time we get an operator's license that comes in, we have to approve it after Paulette does all the research, and it's just basically a stamp saying that she did the research. But the reality is, she's the clerk. If she doesn't do the research, she's the one that's in trouble, not us. So I think to keep things a little more efficient, just have her approve them after she does the research.
And I have no problem if I have something that's questionable where I'm not sure whether or not it should be approved or denied. I have no problem bringing that forward.
Right.
Like some of them are pretty cut and dry, but there was one in the time that I've worked here that we denied.
Yep.
And kind of did all the research, talked to Department of Revenue, the attorney, who all recommended to deny it.
I think
So-
that was the first time I've ever been,
And I don't know if Heidi ever did.
she didn't.
And unless
not to my
there's
knowledge.
something serious on that background check, we legally cannot deny.
Right, there's like two particular reasons why you can, and it's,
And it sounds like those aren't even good enough reasons anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at that point, I don't see a reason not to go.
Just a comment, I remember years ago, you know, the same situation came up, and if an employer is gonna hire this person, it's their neck, not ours.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're hiring a felon that's been in the till for 10 years and
True.
serving drinks in a bar, it's your pocketbook they're stealing out of, not ours, you know. That's part of it too.
Mhm.
True.
You know, if maybe if you see something like that, you contact the employer and say, hey, did you know about this? And if they say, God, no, then you kind of back up on it, but they say, oh, yes, and it's a friend of ours and we're gonna give him a chance.
And that's part of the reason that it actually comes through us, isn't it? So that when we do the background check, we can let the employer know that.
I never looked into that side of their licensing. I have no clue.
How many employers don't do a background check themselves?
I don't know.
I would hope that they do. I mean, that was, to me, that would be them protecting their own business and, you know, I shouldn't tell them how to run it, but.
It's got one, I'll have to ask and see if George or Wade has ever done a background check on anybody that they've ever given.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they did.
I don't think so either.
So, I would entertain a motion to, write an ordinance to assign the approval for operators licenses to the clerk.
And then,
I'll bring the ordinance back here, yes.
and then, could it be in there that, if the clerk, can't make a
Unless there is.
solid
reason for
decision, yeah, if the clerk questions it all, it can come to the board for approval,
Okay,
or denied.
I would
I
agree
do
with that.
I'll make that motion.
all right.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion by Josh and a second by Chase to draft an ordinance to assign the clerk as designee for approval of operator's license with questionable operator's license coming to the board for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Okay. And I can draft that ordinance. I think I can handle that one. Okay, quote for a new computer for the deputy clerk. We have, Mary is our deputy clerk and her computer is getting very old. And in our budget, we do have the money to purchase her a new laptop. And we did budget it for next year, but there is still money in the budget for this year. It's actually in the ARPA fund budget, if I remember correctly. So, we thought getting that computer at this point in time was probably the most effective use of the rest of the ARPA funds. So, we did discuss, I believe, last time, getting her the computer, buying it from Best Buy or getting it from our IT gentleman, and we decided that getting it from our IT gentleman might be a little more expensive. However, he has the ability to download all the
and set it all up.
Yeah, all the information we needed.
And he's only charging 2 hours for that, right?
Yes,
Well, and he can jump on any time that there's an issue too, and
yes,
That's a blessing in
Yes.
itself.
yes,
When we purchase it through our IT guy and there's a problem, our IT guy can back it.
yes,
You don't have to take it somewhere.
absolutely.
And this computer is very similar to the one that I currently have.
Okay.
So,
I make a motion that we purchase a new laptop for our deputy clerk, Tech Pros, quote number 58356,
I'll second that.
with the ARPA funds.
I have a motion by Roger and a second by Josh to approve the new laptop for Mary at a cost of approximately $960. Quote number 58356 through Tech Pros using ARPA funds. All those in favor?
Lorelei,
Yes, sir.
can I abstain my
Yes,
vote from
you can.
this?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? And Brian abstains due to connections, correct?
Correct.
Okay, operator's license.
I'll make a motion to approve Joan Wilson, Saratoga Mini Mart, and Emily Minnie for Boone Saloon Metering.
One second.
Okay,
Who's getting it?
I'll give it to Chase.
I have a motion by Josh and a second by Chase to approve the two operator licenses, one for Joan Wilson of Saratoga Mini Mart and the second for Emily Manet of Boone Saloon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? Motion approved. Okay, pay the town bills. Is there any discussion in regards to the bills?
The, highway department one, 57,000, was that for part of,
I think that's
Range-
part of Range
Ranger Road?
Line or Range Road? Ranger, I think. The 57,521.
I can go look.
Would you please?
Yeah, give me just one. second.
Here, let me go look. You do your thing.
All right,
Do you need an invoice number?
No.
should get the,
All right. And you'll see that the deposit, the down payment was put on the sign, and the sign should be a Christmas present for the town of Saratoga. So we should have our sign out here. I'm happy. The Public Works Department made the board to install the electrical panel that our electrician will be installing soon. And the electrician in installing the panel, he is also installing the two lights on the building that are burned out.
what is the, MFL withdrawal for Wood County Treasurer?
When someone takes a property out of MFL, they have to pay the back taxes, so then we in turn get partial payment of the back taxes, our portion.
Was
Was
it
it
negative on there, though, it's showing that we're paying that out.
Oh, that one I don't know.
That's why I'm curious about it.
Oh, yeah.
Was it just the pulping or was it a withdrawal?
It says withdrawal,
It says-
MFL withdrawal.
We have an MFL withdrawal. We paid,
Where are you seeing this?
check number 1017 of 23. Why would we pay for an MFL withdrawal?
Where am I seeing?
Check
something here?
18533.
Oh.
$440.18.
It's a percentage that goes back to the county when there's an MFL withdrawal.
Oh, so it comes to us first,
Yes.
and then we
And
pay.
then we have to pay
We
them.
get say, we get say 1,000 and we give the county 440 or whatever.
Right, there's a percentage of it. Off the top of my head, I don't recall. I can look at,
10%, is that,
honestly, I'm drawing a blank on it.
I think it's 10%.
It's 10 or 20.
Could be, yeah.
Your $57,000 check you questioned, it's aggregate stockpiling, 52nd Street soft spots, Range Line pulverizing and paving, Ranger Road pulverizing and paving, and New Holland tractor repair and shop supplies.
All right, so there's a little bit of.
There's a little bit of everything.
Couple more stuff. Just didn't seem enough to be that project, and
Looks like it was the beginning of that project plus.
Well, yeah, the pulverizing on Ranger there, but,
Is this,
first,
we have an invoice here from Stratford Rosenbaum.
that's
Is that,
water.
is that,
That is Larry's.
that's,
And then, but a lot of that was
We
for
get billed.
solar, so then Billy Joe will invoice the solar on it, so we pay Stafford and then we get reimbursed.
okay.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Chase and a second by Brian to pay bills after discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? All right. I hope my bills never total that amount of money.
For 2 weeks.
Use your pen too, please.
Don't wait until after the first of the year, and then you start paying your
I know.
taxes.
Those tax-
That bottom line will be $1 million.
Items for future meetings. Okay, so we got a couple things that I know of. We got the budget coming up. We have, we will have a camping ordinance coming up, a driveway ordinance at some point.
Disability insurance.
Disability insurance. We do have a donation that has been requested that will come up on the 15th. What else?
There's also a public hearing on the 15th for the discontinuation of Mill Avenue.
Oh, yes,
Um,
yes. That little piece when they put in the road, yes.
Is that public hearing gonna be the 6th?
Yes, so it'll be
Yeah,
kind of
after.
public hearing and then budget public hearing and then the regular.
But we're not starting at 5.
No.
It'll be 6 o'clock.
Yep.
Public hearing, regular meeting.
Yeah, it should be fairly short because,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just a public hearing, yeah.
right. What else? Anything else? Anybody know? Brian,
It's 20%.
We're almost
Yeah.
done. We're
Okay.
almost done, can't wait.
Set the date for the next meeting,
November 15th.
November 15th. All
You
right,
just nudge yourself when you're on your head.
a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Josh and a second by Roger to adjourn. All those in favor?
I
Adjourn.